Hey all, it's Mike. Normally I have a little montage of sound bites, song pieces, that type of thing, as I do as an intro, but I got flagged last time, and the podcast was restricted from certain areas. I was worried it was going to get pulled down, so I'm going to take a little break from those little montages, just to get off people's radar, you know what I mean? In the meantime, I'll keep it simple. Ego and Vice, episode 138.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Raid. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago. Hell, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crossing roads is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away.
Yeah, totally. Such a bummer. Hey, sorry, it's Mike. It's Ego and Vice. Welcome back. This is episode 138. Like Lars Ulrich needs more money. I'm sure, anyway. It's all AI. It's the algorithm. I used, 10 seconds of a song, which I thought was normal. I thought it was okay, as long as it wasn't over 30 seconds. But if you actually use it directly from, a Spotify account instead of just finding, a little snippet on YouTube by some other user's name, I guess they can track it immediately. So, I'm going to stop doing that for a bit because I don't want anything to prevent. I'm sure it won't. I'm sure it wouldn't go anywhere. I'm sure it's just what happens. But I don't want anything to kind of be negative about this podcast. So I'm just going to give that a break. I'm going to stick to the music on the show that people give me permission to play. Fair enough? Anyway, the band that gave me permission to play their music this week is a band called Just Fine. Celine and Ronnie came into Southwood Studio, and we talked all things Just Fine. Great conversation. Going to get right into it. This is the very new song, or the latest single, I should say, from Just Fine. It is called Felt Like I Do. After this track is done, we're going to come back with Celine and Ronnie, and everything's going to be just fine right here on Ego and Vice.
I'm not gonna pick up
Hey, we're back. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 138. As promised in the intro, I have two members of the local band Just Fine. I have Celine. I have Ronnie. How are you guys doing?
Hello there.
Good.
We're good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad the heat wave is over. It was getting a little thick out there.
It was real thick.
Yeah.
The thickest.
I have AC in the house. It's not on today because it was a little cooler, but my car, the AC broke.
Oh no.
So I was like driving around with the windows open, which was kind of nice actually, and you get kind of used to it. But there's lots to be said about modern technology like air conditioning.
Yeah.
When you're pummeled by a heat wave.
Like the one we have.
Yeah.
The AC in my car doesn't work. Never has.
Nothing in your car works.
Mm-hmm. So Just Fine. Let's talk about Just Fine. I did a little bit of research, the best I could, the best I can normally, and it looks, as far as I can go back, it says that you were formed in 2021. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense,
No, I
Ronnie?
don't think so. I think we formed in like
2022?
No, well, I guess it depends. Yeah, we started
Maybe it was
making music
2021 then.
in like, I thought like pre-Pandy.
The band though.
Oh, the band.
The band.
Okay. Yeah. So when did our EP come out? 2022, April 2022.
I think it makes sense. I think
So yeah,
we
that's kind
had-
of when the band started.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
April
And-
2022.
Ronnie, you and I off mic, we were talking about how we're around the same age and we kind of came up the same way in Ottawa through I call it the aughts, probably because of Grandpa Simpson, but 2001, I guess, to 2009 would it be? So you have experience. You're a seasoned
Oh no, I wouldn't call myself a
musician.
seasoned
You played in a
anything.
band called, what was it called again?
Blazer.
Blazer.
Yeah.
It's on
Anyone-
YouTube.
If
It's on
anyone
YouTube.
remembers Blazer. So do you want to talk about some of the roots of your your origin story of music, as they say?
Yeah, sure. I guess why not? Well, yeah, I started playing music in the mid 2000s. I think like 2005 or 6 with my best friends. We all lived in a house together, and we all just played music we worked during the day, and then we just raced home to play music and record music. It all kind of ended in 2010, and then I really didn't do any kind of music for like basically until I met you, Celine.
Right. Celine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is Just Fine one of your first projects, or are you also seasoned? Do you have a history as far as the local scene?
The
or-
first and only.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So growing up, I guess you've always been a music fan. Did you listen to music? Is this something that just came later in life, or did you know you wanted to sing from when you were young?
I was really shy, so I never sang in front of anyone until I was like I don't even know, like 26, I feel like, or something. And then, no, I just listened to music. I never played any instruments or anything like that. But yeah, I used to always go to Blues Fest. Used to go alone every single year since I was 12. I loved it. But yeah.
Can you both recall like early influences when you were younger? Do you remember music being in your house? Do you come from like a lot of like a musical history, you know? I remember when I was a kid, I've told this story before, but one of my fondest and earliest memories of music was going on like summer vacations with my parents, and there was like an Eagles cassette like stuck in the car stereo, and it just played. It was like the Eagles' greatest hits, and it just played over and over. It's the earliest memory of music I have, but it's also the reason I can't listen to the Eagles today.
Oh, that's
like-
too bad.
I'm ruined. But do you have any memories of that, like early like when you first kind of noticed music?
Like I feel like there were 2 moments in my life where I really noticed music, like not to be like super cliche or anything, but like hearing "Are You Experienced" by Jimi Hendrix. That definitely that was a really positive experience in my life. But then like the thing that really like unlocked it for me was like I think listening to "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yeah,
That was just like that was a moment in time. and yeah, that was it was really awesome. And
Well, those are some
wanted to
pretty
be a
those are,
guitarist after that.
yeah, those are some pretty big moments and pretty big sounds that are hard to miss. Do you know what I mean? So I can relate. I remember where I was when I first heard my friend. His name was James Reed. I'm from Thunder Bay, Ontario. He came to in this group, and we were at school, and he said, "You have to listen to this band. It's the greatest band of all time."
in the music video too. Like
Yeah, it was Smells Like Teen, or it was Nevermind from Nirvana. Celine, do you have any memories, like early memories of?
Yeah, I guess I never took any like lessons or anything like that, or there wasn't really instruments in the house. But there was, yeah, I grew up listening to country music. So
Lots of melody though.
lots
Lots of melody in country music.
Yeah, I think my earliest memory, it's like I feel like my parents have like videos of me as a kid just like listening to CMT, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
That's cool. Do you find that and you do most of the songwriting or lyric writing, I guess, in just fine?
Oh, I'd say you do all the lyric writing.
Yeah, all the lyric writing. Do you find like those early memories and those early influences, they still influence you today, or have you completely changed your style, or what kind of moves you when it comes to being inspired by?
Yeah, I guess a lot of the music that I grew up listening to, like a lot of like, I don't know if it'd be like poppy songs from the 90s that I really liked and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they kind of influence. Yeah. I don't really know.
Yeah, that's cool. I think a lot of the stuff we take from being younger kind of, it never really goes away. It just kind of evolves from what we first liked to where we are. Because you said country music, and I touched on it, where country music has like tons of melody in it, and I think the roots of all music are like folk. Like string music, like songwritten stuff. I'm not talking about classical music and stuff like that. Let's just talk about the singer-songwriter type of thing. I think it all stems from like old like folk music, traditional country music, where it's just like, as they call them, the cowboy chords, where there's like, you know, G, D, C or something over and over again with just a nice little melody, and you can write a bazillion songs over that chord arrangement or that chord structure. So, yeah, I think country's a great thing to accidentally listen to when you're a kid, and I guarantee that it would influence your style and as you grew up. When you first started getting together, you said this is your first kind of project. Ronnie, you've been around for a while. How'd you meet?
I used to work at Dominion City, and I used to work there. And at the time I had met one of my colleagues named Cal, who we love dearly, and he introduced me to Ronnie.
Callie and I go way back.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it happened. It was very like a random. I think we were getting ready for like a Halloween thing at Tooth and Nail or something, and I played like a song on guitar that was like a Taylor Swift song, and he was like, "Oh, you should come over and record. I'll bring Ronnie over," or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of
and we originally that's what we were doing musically. We were working on like Cal's stuff. Like I was laying down guitar and bass for him, and
I didn't really. And then they were like, "You should just try and write something."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then eventually we just started. Right.
Yeah, we ended up being neighbors without realizing. So then during the pandemic, when like everything kind of, we hung out on his balcony a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the pandemic was good for songwriters. I've had this conversation before, and I guess it's always interesting to see how it affected people. Some people were very creative during the pandemic, and some people just kind of like me just went, "Meh, no, I don't want to do anything." You know, now I don't have to do anything because there's no expectation, right? Right. So how did it affect you? As far as, have you always, regardless of whether you're been a singer or not, have you always written lyrics? Have you always written poetry? Like, are you a writer? Do you like words? You know what I mean? Like the structure of stuff?
I don't think I ever really gave it a go, no. Until they were like, just try and write something. And the whole reason I was trying to learn how to play guitar, just some chords and stuff, because I was too shy to sing in front of anybody, and I was like, oh, maybe this will help. Mm-hmm. And then, I think what really helped was just learning some songs, and then you can just kind of go your own way on guitar, and that's kind of what what it came out of. But no, I never really wrote anything other than like things in English class.
Do you now?
Just the songs that we have, like,
Okay.
or just jamming on songs alone, but not like poetry or anything like that.
Do you find it hard to do, or does it come pretty easily?
I think some of them come pretty fast and feel pretty cathartic when they arrive, but other ones take a bit more time.
Yeah. Well, when you got to work for something, that
Yeah.
pays off, right? Kind of, that's the stuff that means a lot. So when you actually got together and you started actually putting the songs together, how natural did that come? Pretty straightforward. Like,
It's kind of like I tried something, and then him and I hadn't really hung out alone before. It was always with our friend Cal, and I was like, this is gonna be awkward. And then I don't know, Ronnie just, whatever he puts over guitar just like works.
mm-hmm. And you spoke of Ted. Ted is also in Just Fine, who is not here today. Shall we give Ted his props?
Yeah,
Of
absolutely. Big
course,
shout out
we love
to
Ted. Sweet Ted.
Ted is the
dear
drummer?
Sweet Ted, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a bass player?
We do, yeah.
Adam.
Adam. So
Dear
there's
Sweet Adam.
There's 4 people in
There
the
are
band.
4.
Mhm.
Ted and Adam.
What's up?
We
next
love
time.
you.
Next time. So as you were putting the songs together and they were flowing, it's amazing what chemistry can do, right? It's just like you get random people together, you never know what could happen, and all of a sudden you find like some magic, if you will, right? Where it's just like, wow, this is a lot easier than it should be, or this feels like, even if it's hard, this feels really good. That's how you know you kind of got something to work with. And if you get along, even better. If you're neighbors, I guess you got to get along, right? So I guess you started recording some music. Now in 2022, you released an EP called Sink or Swim, which I read was recorded live off the floor.
Yeah.
So you could get like a real live kind of sound out of it. I find today's music is all like broken up, right? Like it's recorded individually.
I love both approaches, you know?
Yeah.
And they're both so different.
Mm-hmm.
And feel is everything. I don't know.
Yeah. How was the actual sessions when you were recording it? Were there like one takes, or were there?
Pretty much. And
No?
and then we ended up going most of the time with like the first take,
Mm-hmm.
especially with a lot of your vocals, which like we just, yeah, it was like,
I think the only downside to that is just like it's cool that it's live off the floor and everything's sounds very live, but I don't know, as someone who sings, you hear those little F-ups and
me
you're
too.
like,
I hear
you
hear
know.
all my, can we swear?
Yeah.
I hear all my
Oh.
fuck ups.
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
I was F-ups. I tried hard there.
No, it's fine. It's like I said, this is an open forum. By all
Okay.
means, say what you want to say. Yeah, I find with the digital age, you can, and like Pro Tools, or like I use a software called Reason, where you can do individual tracks, and literally you could make it so perfect that it almost becomes too perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Live off the floor can go either way too. It could be emotionally absolutely you know, and then the second half of the song you kind of flub it. It's like
Yeah.
right, and it's hard to go back and repair it, right?
I think
'Cause-
what bothers me most about live off the floor for like the songs that we have out it's just how one chorus doesn't sound exactly the same as the next one in the vocals specifically. That's
Consistency,
what
yeah.
drives
That's
me
what-
insane.
does
The
it?
verses, it's like whatever.
I-
It should be different, but
Like
the rest.
I can't unhear all the little fuck ups I made in Sink or Swim,
Ugh.
like the first little guitar part. But it's so no one would ever hear it all, basically.
I think it's brave though to do something like that, and if you do hear the little flubs in there or stuff you don't like, and you release it anyway, because it really is a true presentation of probably what you sound like live. So if people listen to it and they like it, and then they go see you live, they're going to be happy, you know, with the product that you're giving to them. And I think it is brave. I think nowadays, because we have the technology to break it down and perfect everything so it's this shiny orb of perfectness, you know, what's wrong with a little bit of, like, you know, a little squeak here or a little pop there? I think it's awesome. I think it's really great. You took it to Dave Draves at Little Bullhorn.
Hell yeah, we
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's our jam space. That's still where we
What's up, Dave?
jam every.
We love you.
I've known
Monday.
Dave. That Our Mistake band I was telling you about, we started recording our second record there on the 2-inch tape.
Oh yeah, that's
But-
what we did.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
his machine there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's cool, right?
So
the
fucking
analog,
sick.
the analog machine.
Yeah.
But we ended up we ended up going to a different producer who we recorded our first album with. It was a big flip flop. It had nothing to do against Little Bullhorn. It just timing, money, all this stuff. But we had a great time there. Little Bullhorn. I guess you played shows based off of the EP, so you had like an EP
an
release
EP
and all that stuff.
We did that at Cafe de Cuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did it go? How did everyone take to the live sound? Like, did they actually enjoy it? Like, did they like it?
Well, I think the
felt
first show
great.
we had was just like family and friends coming out for the most part.
Yeah.
I think we said this. We always give a shout out to Jick, aka Jack.
What's up, Jack?
What's up, Jack? But yeah, with the second show, I think we played. He had messaged us and was like, "Hey, do you need any photos done?" And then he was kind of the one when he came to see our show was like, "Oh, I listened to your music, but I wasn't expecting it to be kind of this when I saw it live." And then he's the one who got us to do our first, maybe a bigger show, like the Neighborhood Noise. It was like a New Year's Eve show.
Yeah.
And then so he kind of introduced us to everyone. Realistically,
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you've definitely come a long way in a short time, especially from the very first show playing in front of your family and friends to what you got coming up, which we'll get to in a minute.
Thank you.
But what a great segue! What a great segue to play a Just Fine song off of Sink or Swim. Would you like to play a song? Not actually play a song. Would you like to hear a song?
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Which one?
Can you introduce one?
Sing.
Oh yeah, okay. Sink or Swim off the EP. Sink or Swim.
All right, you heard it. That is Celine from Just Fine introducing Sink or Swim right here on Ego and Vice. So as I was saying before, we listened to Sink or Swim. From playing in front of family and friends, you've done a lot since then. I was looking, again, with my research, I was looking back. You've had shows at Live on Elgin, the Brass Monkey, Bar Robo, Avant-Garde, the Rainbow, just to say a few. You have a big, I think it's like a festival at Club Sauce, Side by Side, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is the growth been? Like, that's a lot. That's a long way to go in 2 years.
Yeah, I think the most important part, and like we kind of chatted about before we hopped on the interview, is just how bumping the scene is right now, and just being able to go out and meet people and support all the other bands. And I think that's kind of it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think I use the term community a lot, like a music community here on the podcast a lot, and it's true. And we were talking off mic about how scenes kind of go in peaks and valleys, where they're really strong and really alive, and then they'll kind of level off a little bit, and then they'll come again. And right now, from my 25 years in Ottawa, this is equivalent, if not even a little bit more than as alive and electric as I've seen the Ottawa music scene.
That's so fucking awesome to hear you say.
And one of the things that I did touch on too, it's sometimes like there's always bands, there's always musicians, right? They're all talented, they're all doing the same thing as everyone else is, like promoting, trying to get their name out, writing songs, jamming, playing shows. But for some reason, I think the peaks and valleys come from the crowds, the people that want to see music again. And in the aughts, as I was talking about, Grandpa Simpson's aughts, it was a very big peak in like the mid-aughts, mid-2002 to 9. It kind of leveled off in the teens, and now back in the 20s after the pandemic. It's the crowds, I think you miss it. You're just like, wow, that was taken away. Live music, and now there's just so it doesn't hurt that these bands are really good too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
tons of good bands.
It gives me hope that guitars and drums are still important out there. You know what I mean? People up on stage actually making music instead of pressing buttons. No disrespect to anybody who presses buttons for their musical living. What's your opinion on that as far as the scene goes?
I think the scene's been probably one of the best things in our lives. I think we're like the happiest we've ever been. Yeah, it's a really, really good community. And I think it also shows too, like when you, I don't know, for me anyways, I'm really nervous before every show, and most people know that. But whenever like your scene friends show up and they're there in the front, I feel so much better. So yeah, I don't know. It's a really support, awesome community, right, to be a part of right now.
Yeah, I think if everyone supports each other, then you have the confidence, and you almost want to like do good for them, right? And
everyone's so friendly. Everyone's just like a good friend, you know. So it's really nice.
We all have music in common, so it's like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a mutual. Like I said, it's a community. We all have that one thing in common. How could we not? You know, how could we not have something to talk about or get along or be cool with each other? And no jealousy, no envy, just everyone helping each other out, and that's awesome, you know, and that's pretty organic, and sometimes that's pretty rare. So, you know, I know there's peaks and valleys. Peaks always end up valleying, so I don't mean this in any negative way. Enjoy it while it's here. You might look back on this as one of the best times of your life, because it.
Oh, I already do. I think.
Yeah,
and we always call out Tom, our friend Tom, every single time we're on a podcast or something. That Ottawa. What did he say? He called it Ottawa is the city of empty green rooms.
Yeah.
We love Tom. Hey Tom.
So you kept recording. After the EP Sink or Swim, you released a couple of singles, Blue Eyes in 2023, and then more recently, Felt Like I Do in 2024. How was the recording process with that? Did you do it live off the floor again, or did you?
Not this time.
You went. Yeah. Where did you record those songs?
So Blue Eyes, we recorded it with our main man Steph from Kick Me Records. He produced that song for us, and so stoked with how it turned out. It's like, I don't know, he did such a wicked job. And we recorded at with Jeff Watkins
At Loretta?
Yeah, just a little bit more. That's
Sorry about that. Yeah,
Okay.
at Loretta Studios, and we did that in a weekend.
Yeah. Super fun experience with them too. That was a really fun weekend.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the studio. I guess Jeff like lives there, but it's just like a super cool place to be.
Oh, it was
Hanging
such a
out
pleasure hanging out, spending the weekend there and recording.
Do you have a lot of songs? Are you avid writers? Do you write a lot, or is it kind of a song by song process? Like when you play shows, you must have more than.
Yeah, we've got
cut a few.
yeah, like the newer song that we put out this year in March. We recorded that with Mickey, aka Plastic Farmer. And yeah, that one we're really excited about. Super happy with how that turned out. Like couldn't be happier. And we're actually recording an album with them.
Oh, good.
I think we're starting. Is it November that we put that on the calendar? Yeah, in the fall we're gonna record the whole thing.
October, yeah.
Yeah, so really excited about that one.
Yeah,
And we're gonna record it at Pebble
Studios.
Pebble Studios.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's where Mickey works now. So.
Recording is. I've had this debate before where it's just like, what do you think is with today's listener? With people say people don't have as long attention spans, but I think if you're really interested in something, you can pay attention to it. Says the guy with ADHD. But how do you feel between an album and singles? What do you prefer? And what do you think is a better presentation, like to release stuff?
I feel like they both have their purpose. I think I don't know, in more recent years I've kind of been obsessed with just listening to full albums, so I'm pretty excited about having an album. I think it's like a crazy thing to have. I think and
it'll be nice to just kind of like put this chapter
Yeah.
of songs behind us and really start working on the next album, you know.
Yeah, because we have a lot of like some of the songs that will be on the album are like we wrote this year, and then some of them are older than that EP. So
Our second
yeah,
song we ever wrote.
so I'm hoping they still sound okay together on an album, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm on your side too when it comes to like full albums. I think back in the day, that's how the music was made. You know what I mean? It was just like they weren't concept albums, but it's like they're put together. They're all written somewhat in the same time period, and they're sequenced on the record the way they are. It like tells a story, you know. And this is the way the artist wanted us to listen to these 10 songs or 12 songs, and with the digital format where it's just you can just drop a single out, you know what I mean? And there's no liner notes, there's nothing to read except for just the name. I don't know the name of songs anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just you're so used to just like, oh, it's number 4 on my playlist. I don't know what it's called, you know? And it's a shame that that's happened. I remember the good days, the good old days, if you will, of like purchasing like a full album and reading the notes and all that stuff. And that, you know, it's a shame that that's kind of gotten lost in the
digital
transition.
transition.
For all its conveniences, technology sometimes kind of leaves a lot kind of on the cutting room floor, as they say, right?
Yeah.
So
This like soul.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to
Yeah,
just
a
have
little
like have a hard copy, a vinyl. You
right.
know?
Are you actually
the
gonna make
dream.
hard copies? Yeah.
Oh, we should definitely.
Oh
make
yeah.
some
Even
vinyl.
if we don't make a bunch of vinyls, I'm making one
Yeah,
for
we're making-
myself.
we're making 4.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
at least making
I want
4.
one.
There's a company in out of Chicago. I have a link to it somewhere where they'll actually make you like to order, like they'll make you one record if you want.
Incredible.
Wow, really? Eh?
Yeah, it'll probably cost a fortune, but at least you'll have it.
Don't
you know
care.
what I mean? And
Any price.
yeah, that's right. But yeah, if you want one for each, you make 4.
Yeah.
I'd like 4, please. They'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. As far as the shows go, what is Side by Side? That's like it's kind of like a little 3-day sort of a festival. Or?
Yeah, I think that you'd call it a festival. It's really awesome. Anthony puts it on. Yeah, I went last year for the first time, and the setup's really cool. So they have a stage inside at SAW, and then they have the outside one as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it's a lot of local music with some out of town
Yeah, a
bands.
few out-of-towners.
Yeah, quite a few. But yeah, the way it's set up is really cool. So it'll be like a 20-minute set inside, and then as soon as that's done, there's a 20-minute set starting outside and back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's like a super fun way to kind of catch
For
a
sure,
band.
for
and
sure. And I was
yeah.
reading the lineup, and there's a lot of great bands on that for sure that I've seen. A lot of bands that have been on the podcast, and everyone, all the listeners. That is Sunday. No, I guess it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, we're on
July
the
26th, 7th and 8th, side by side at Saw, and Just Fine is on Sunday. But they'll be there.
We'll be there every night.
You'll
Yeah.
be there. They'll be there walking around, supporting. So that's good. Definitely do that. Do you have any plans or anything to tour? Do you want to play out of town? Like, what's the game, or like what's the game plan is what I was trying to say for Just Fine for the future.
Yeah, we've never gone on a tour yet. It's something that we want to do for sure. It seems fun.
Well, we just played in Montreal
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I
That
think
was so much fun.
when with the album, we're gonna like once that's out, we're hoping to do like a little, I don't know,
Yeah.
like a week-long tour maybe.
Yeah, I think those are the best way to do it. Especially for where we live too. Like, you think tour, and it's not like, oh, we're gonna go to all the way to the West Coast. It's like, who's got time and money and to do that, really, as an independent band? All the power to do it if you want to
Yeah.
just give her.
I
But
think we'll all take the same week off. And
Yeah. But for where we are, if you do like Sherbrooke, Quebec City, Montreal, Kingston, Toronto, Peterborough, back to Ottawa, that's a tour in my eyes. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah, I
not
think that's-
it's not super far.
Yeah, but you're leaving out like Brantford.
yeah,
and-
we're gonna
and
go more. I think
Guelph.
more on the
There
stick
you
to
go.
the
Yeah,
Ontario
Hamilton.
side, but yeah.
Well, next tour.
Yeah, next
There you
time.
go. Lots of little towns. Ontario, that's the thing too. Ontario's full of little places to play. So, what's next for Just Fine? How do you foresee? You said you're recording in November. How does the rest of the year look?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty crazy. I feel like we've had shows kind of nonstop for the last few years. But now, yeah, Side by Side's kind of the last thing in the books for a bit, and then we're gonna do the album. Hopefully, do a little tour. I'm kind of assuming in like May or June. I'm hoping.
No, our timeline is.
Is it June?
Yeah, it's gonna come out in June.
Oh, okay. Well, sometime
Mm-hmm.
in a year from now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I think one of our main goals is to maybe play at the Bronson Center this year. That'd be really fucking cool.
So 2025 is going to be a huge year for Just Fine. New records coming out, lots of shows, possible tour. So I'm super excited for you, and I wish you nothing but success. Is there any thank yous or shout outs you want to give to anybody that has helped you out along the way?
To the whole scene. That's all I gotta say. Love them.
And everyone who comes to see us to play, that's like, you guys are.
It's the scene.
Yeah, it's the
The
scene.
scene, people in the bands and not in the bands. all the scenes.
Perfect. So I have a game. It's called 13 Questions with the Band. Would you like to play?
Yeah.
Time for 13 questions with the band. Yes, this segment's back again. It's called 13 questions, but I only asked 6, maybe 5.
Okay, this is 13 Questions with Just Fine. You can answer these questions however you'd like, but I'm going to ask each of you individually. Celine, what was the first concert you ever saw as a fan?
Sam Roberts bands.
Where? When?
Prince Edward Island.
Ooh.
I feel like it was probably 2006 or something. I don't know.
Ronnie, same question.
Ozzy Osbourne.
No.
With actually Ted, the drummer.
Okay.
In 1996. At back then, I think it was the Corel Center.
Aha. Yeah, it's been many
It's
things.
been many things.
96, that was a pretty good Aussie year, I think.
Yeah, it was after the No More Tears.
I think he was still on a ton of drugs then, so he probably
Yeah.
put on a pretty good show.
I was
Okay.
hoping to see Zach Wilde play, and he wasn't playing guitar
Oh.
on that tour. I was so bummed.
Yeah, he's one of those super guitar players. He's in the Pantera I don't even know what you want to call it, cover band now. Anyway, Celine, what is your favorite song today?
Loud Bark, Mannequin Pussy, right now.
Oh man.
So fucking good. That album is so good.
Bull Believer, Wednesday. It's my favorite song today.
As the wind blows. What is your desert island record? If you got trapped on a desert island for 10 years or something, you only had one record you could bring.
You go first.
Really, eh? Nevermind. Nirvana.
Oh, comes back around. Very good.
I might have to do the same.
You're going to say same?
Or Bleach. I'm going to go with Bleach.
Bleach.
Picking it.
All right. Staying in the Cobains. Very good. What is your favorite rainy day music when you're feeling down?
Today?
No. Well, sure.
Okay.
In general.
I'll just go with the classic Phoebe Bridgers or some Sarah McLachlan, you know?
Oh.
What's
very
that
good.
album? Is it called Surrender of them? The black cover. The good album. The
Yeah,
OG
that
Sarah
was-
McLachlan album.
Is that with like Adia
Oh, yeah.
and
Building a Mystery?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that is a classic. Good Canadian artist too, by the
We
way.
love her.
Yeah, Sarah McLachlan. She's a legend.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
The rainy day songs of Pink Floyd. All right, what do you listen to pick you back up?
Today, Mannequin Pussy, that album. I forget what it's called. It's so good.
Cool.
Oh man, today, God. I've been listening to a lot of Tom Petty to cheer me up lately, so maybe that's my answer.
And I'm free falling.
Yeah, it's great.
No, what's the other one? I won't back down. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
When you listen to music, what do you hear first? The music or the lyrics? What kind of grabs you in a song?
For me, it's the vocals, not necessarily the lyrics, but just like the way,
The
the
words?
feel of the sound of the vocals.
I listen to the guitar for sure. I'm a guitarist to the core.
I find that's it's kind of neat, like musicians with their particular instruments, because I've had that before where a drummer would say, "Oh, the beat, man, listen to the drums. If you're a good drummer, I love you. I love the song. It doesn't matter what anything else is doing." It's just like singers are always like, "I like the words." Yeah,
But
it's true.
at a live show, I'm mesmerized by the drummer. I rarely can take my eyes off the drummer.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you see a great drummer, or even if it just sounds good, or if they're really enthusiastic and like emote drumming, oh yeah, it's the best. Okay, if you had a time machine and you could go back to any moment in music history, where would you go?
I'm going to Seattle in the 90s. I want to see Nirvana play. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, 1991, baby.
91. So I'm sensing that we're some pretty big Nirvana fans.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, here we go. Who would Just Find love to open for? Maybe maybe band that's still banned.
No, are we dreaming big? How big are we dreaming here?
Sky's the limit.
Okay, well, who am I obsessed with right now? Indigo D'Souza, I think that would be insane. Or Always. Imagine. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many. We'd love to open for anyone. Please, anyone, take us.
All right. Who would you like to have open for you?
Oh, we can open.
Yeah, we don't mind opening.
Okay. That's awesome. It's like, no, we're good. We're comfortable. All right, a couple more. If you could have a drink or a meal or something with any one in your, like, any artist that's inspired you, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Kurt Cobain.
You can even make someone up. Yeah. Kurt Cobain? Very good.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain or John Lennon.
Ooh. Nobody wants to have lunch with Dave Grohl? No?
Honestly, I fucking love Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going Kurt Cobain. But maybe Dave Grohl.
Yeah. I think Dave Grohl, like, Kurt Cobain was like a super legendary, amazing songwriting icon, but I think Dave Grohl would just be a better
He's
conversation.
the funniest guy ever. Like, I don't listen to any, like, Foo Fighters or anything, but I regularly just look up videos of Dave Grohl doing things.
Doing things, yeah.
Fresh pots?
Fresh pots!
I wonder if anyone ever
Love him.
picks the bassist.
Yeah.
Chris
Chris?
Novoselic.
Oh, Chris Novoselic, yeah. That tall guy.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I think it was like the Much Music or no, the MT Video Awards when Nirvana was playing, and at the very end of the song, Chris Novoselic threw his bass up in the air.
Yeah.
And he missed it, and it slipped right through his hands and clunked him right in the fucking forehead. And he kind of staggered off stage, and he came out later, and he had the big throbbing hematoma, like just like
hematoma.
Yeah, it was like what the. Anyway, okay. Final question with 13 questions with Just Fine.
Wait, that wasn't 13 questions.
I don't need this is my show. I don't have to explain myself. Who is Just Fine?
Ronnie, take it away.
Oh God, I don't know.
We don't fucking know.
Yeah, we're figuring it out. Maybe we'll have an answer for you after this album.
We're openers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I love it. All right. With that being said, I want to thank you for coming on Ego and Vice. It was a pleasure getting to know you.
Likewise.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Very
for
fun
having us.
conversation.
So much for having us.
And I wish you nothing but the best, and maybe come back on once the album drops, as they say.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that'd be
We'd love
amazing.
to.
Cool. All right. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that is the end of episode 138. I'd like to thank Celine and Ronnie for coming on. Just Fine. Great band, big future, tons of success, so keep an eye out, keep an ear out. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, as always, I always direct you to my home base, my HQ, egoandvicepodcast.com, has links to everything you want to find that is Ego and Vice. Other than that, I think I got one episode left, and then I'm taking my summer break. So it's been a heck of a half year, and I'll continue on in August. But who knows? There might be another episode popping up. You never know. As the wind blows, so does my plans change. We'll see. See you next time.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Wanna